Hello, beautiful. Okay, I love you. So, I'm still waiting on one more part. Um, but the part I put in there for the plugged in my phone. I love it. Um, didn't it didn't just kick back in. That being said, um, it didn't start like it did before. It just wouldn't turn over. So I'm a little worried that I've let it sit too long. There might be a different problem now. So maybe even if I do solve the original problem, I might run into a secondary problem. I don't think it's the starters, but I should try them. I haven't yet, and I normally start there to be honest. Yeah, the fuel pump, man. If that's it, I'm gonna be real bummed. But yeah, I should do plug then pump. 50 bucks. Okay. We can press a jump though. We just can't do it again. Oh well. We should turn it around on the street though. Based on yeah. We'll turn it around. And then I'll look into a YouTube video on if I can put the pump in some cheeky way. I don't have to drop the tank to do it.
This is this.
But I'll also try the plugs. I have come in case those are it, and I'll try the starters before I do the pump and try to figure that out.
Same guy getting slapped out again. Larry Wheels slapped Dean the Great. Dean repeatedly complimented his
Man, if I do get this thing going there, I am never letting this thing die. Okay? Never.
wife, asked her for a hug, and continued to disrespect him. Is this how it happened?
From the restaurant.
Hey, will she agree with me? Can I get a hug?
No, don't do. Oh, whoa.
I know we're streaming it.
No, hey, bro. Don't disrespect this motherfucker like that.
Nobody, bro.
Hey.
Honestly, W Rampage.
Don't give a
Nuclear.
Oh. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Between the two of you.
See, we agree.
No, Rich, talk. Real talk.
She's the only one that agree with me.
Hey, no. Don't disrespect. Don't disrespect the king like that.
Nuclear.
He a king.
Nuclear.
He a king. You know why?
She a queen though.
Listen. Whoa. I know we streaming. We gotta chill. We gotta chill. I know we.
Nuclear.
She a queen though.
Hey, honey, liquor.
Nuclear.
I know we streaming, but honey, is
I'm good. She a queen.
No. Chill out. She's married.
Nuclear.
Listen, we got two beautiful girls on. Come on, let's go.
Nuclear.
Hey, he's
Fuck this.
Nuclear.
This
Nuclear.
fucking
Come on,
around. I
come
think I'm finna be respectful. Fuck
Okay,
his
come on.
wife up for grabs.
Hey, he's been mad
She
disrespectful.
smiling. She
Hey,
laughing.
His wife up for grabs.
hey, don't be mad disrespectful. Come on,
I'm
man.
good, I'm
Listen, I know we streaming.
Nuclear.
This.
What are you doing with your hands?
Hey,
This.
you ready,
Nuclear.
you ready for them 100 gifted? 200
This
gifted?
Nuclear.
Listen.
You ready for them 200 gifted? Whoa!
Deserve. Totally
This has
fucking
got to be
deserve.
staged. Look how
His wife
small
up
this
for
lad
grabs.
is.
He's been mad
She
disrespectful.
smiling.
That's crazy to say. You are lucky you only got slapped.
I know we
See,
streaming.
look at it. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. What's he getting his hand there next to her? Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He said he was gonna jump and shoot Larry after this. He's gonna shoot Larry. This is the same guy. I think it was on the same day getting slapped out again. This isn't just like some random baldy,
Oh, okay,
you know,
so
that's at
this
a
is like
party.
his stream
Former
thing.
UFC fighter.
Nice to meet you, bro. You do know who I am. I don't know why you.
So he goes around to big guys and taunts them and then gets his ass kicked. Okay.
Lying. So don't
That's
act like
okay.
you don't know me.
That's his thing.
You definitely know me.
Nice to meet you, though.
Yeah, I just don't be lying because girls around and shit. You definitely know me, bro.
Bro,
Not even on some disrespectful shit, but
don't like your attitude. And don't like your
I don't like you at all though. Yeah, straight up.
Are you the guy that got slapped on video?
I did, but I'll slap the shit out you though.
Oh, you will?
I'm gonna show you the inside of.
Are you the guy who got slapped on video?
I'll make you another clip. Don't do that.
I'll make you another clip.
Like, you're gonna make another clip over this? Why would you say this?
Seriously?
Don't do that.
Bro, this guy actually thought that he was gonna talk shit to Kratos. Why is
What
that?
happened? Tell me.
What did you say to him?
We're gonna get smoked.
He's gonna get
Hey, we're
smoked.
outside.
So
Come
now
talk
he's
to me
gonna
inside,
shoot
bro.
two people.
Come talk to me.
He's just gonna shoot everybody now. And then this is him tearing up. How he fears after getting slapped by Larry Wheels.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been sleeping. I ain't been eating ever since this
Nuclear.
slapped me, bruh. My jaw hurt. I've been on the phone with lawyers, attorneys. I'm finna sue this big gorilla ass.
Nuclear.
My jaw hurt. I can't sleep on my face.
Yeah? Go to the
I
doctor.
can't sleep on my side. This shit traumatic, and y'all
Yeah.
niggas don't understand. Y'all
Nuclear.
think this shit funny. Y'all
I do. I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. You're threatening people. You're invading this woman's personal space.
I can't eat. I ain't ate shit.
Nuclear.
I've been drinking smoothies out of straw.
Yep. That's deserved. You were the aggressor. You invaded that woman's space, saying that you were going to sexually assault her. And then even beyond that,
Are you the guy that got slapped on video?
I did, but I'll slap the shit out you though.
Oh, you will?
so he's going and making threats again. And you can tell because he probably knows that if somebody makes a threat at you, the chances are that if you hit them, nothing's gonna happen. And he says, oh, wait, really? Wait, you said you hit me? Wait, this guy just flagged for PB? What's... Boom, bitch!
Whoa.
Wait a minute. He is smiling. He is.
He's
walking
too
away
happy.
from this guy, and this dude is just going ape shit on him. Oh, man. Man. And this guy just Kratos is walking away, laughing.
Oh, that's good shit, man. Top 5 places to pee in Souls games. Good to know. Good to know. I'm glad somebody made a video on that. It's Cam Newton show cancelled for wild.
Cam
reasons.
Newton was recently just canceled. So after saying he cannot have platonic relationships with women.
You have any platonic relationships in your life right now? With a woman? Yeah. No.
When I say
With a
platonic,
woman?
we have no business to be had together.
But I say this to say, if you can't have a normal, hey, what's up, Cam? How you been? Just checking on you. You good? Because you don't look at them like human beings that are not sexual.
No, you're trying to shift the narrative.
Yeah. Cam Newton was recently just canceled. All right, seems as though he's in a bit of hot water due to recent podcast conversation, which can be described by these news outlets that are alleging this as sexist. So, guys, I want to go through a article that I found talking about this, as well as get into the actual conversation that it's being alleged that led to the cancellation. Now, the show was up on BET for like 8 episodes, referred to as 106 in Sports, a play off of that iconic show 106 in Part. Nevertheless, let's take a look at one of these articles. Cam Newton literally gets canceled after saying he cannot have platonic relationships with women. All right. Usually when someone brings up cancel culture, it's a euphemism for minor consequences. However, for Cam Newton, he actually went and got himself canceled. BET just announced 106 in Sports is canceled after 8 episodes, but Cam Newton has nobody to blame but himself for getting canceled. Cancellation of the show is just days after he stated on the podcast that he's incapable of having platonic friendships with women. Quote, "I'm not about to be around no woman platonically," Newton said, "because I'm not about to play them games. And maybe self-control if she fine. I'm not about to have her around playing that I don't think that she's attractive. I don't have good-looking women around that's friends." Now, his co-host, Ashley Nicole Moss, didn't seem too happy with that viewpoint. And there goes a picture of him with the almost naked co-host. So this is where the initial conversation happened. Let's listen.
You have any platonic relationships in your life right now? With a woman? Yeah. No. Is that by choice?
I'm not about to be around no woman platonically. Listen.
We gotta unpack this, Cam. Why?
Because I'm not about to play them type of games.
Is it self-control?
Call it what you want.
I'm asking.
Call it, it may be self-control.
I'm asking.
If she fine, I'm not about to have her around playing like I don't think that she's attractive.
Is it possible to think someone's attractive and still behave yourself?
Yes.
Do you have control of them thoughts?
Yes. But I'm not about to play them games.
What game is it?
The game of saying, hey, we not about to be friends. I don't have good-looking women that's friends around me.
So
no.
Just all the. Do you have any ugly ones? I gotta ask.
I don't even have women friends, bro. Respectfully.
Why? I understand you saying you're not finna play this game, but Cam, you're a smart man. I'm gonna need you to go deeper than that.
He did.
Yeah, we're gonna
I know me. You know you, okay?
I know me.
He's being truthful here.
That means if I'm around a woman long enough, I'm going to find something good in her that attracts me.
Okay, and when you're attractive, what then happens? When you're attractive, what then happens?
Sex.
Cam, this is a bigger issue than I thought we had.
So, understanding that I know what's to come from a platonic situation, I don't even play.
Platonic.
No, I don't do that. Baby, you too fine for me.
They said it right. Platonic.
We're not doing that.
They play in
Interesting. No.
So, okay. If I take the word friendship off of the table, do you have platonic relationships in your life that involve women?
I just told you, I don't have no attractive woman that I'm cool with.
I like how he clarifies
attractive.
attractive. That's so funny.
Listen, stabbing is a crazy euphemism to be utilized within this context. But here's the thing. I respect him when he says this. Hey, listen, different dudes are going to have different ability to discipline themselves when they get in and around vagina. All right? And I do think that now this does come after him having like 11 kids or some shit like that. But I do think that his recognition of his inability to withhold from stabbing, it's growth. All right? This is what mature men do. They recognize their weaknesses, and if they don't try to make their weakness into a strength, then they figure out how to make sure that their weakness doesn't increase the amount of risk within their life. Can men and women ever really just be strictly platonic friends? The likelihood
you can be
is
bad
very
at
low,
something.
especially
you can be not
if they
good.
met after high school, right? Like after the puberty stage.
You have a hard
but we
time
also can't act
not
like
fucking women.
beautiful
You just
women
don't be around that
cannot
many
be
women.
leveraged
Unless
in
you tend
order to
fuck 'em.
enhance or support your mission or your purpose, all right? But this topic actually came up again in another podcast that Cam Newton was doing with two overly emotional young ladies that were obviously trying to paint him in a negative light. And apparently, due to this canceling, it seems as though they absolutely succeeded. Let's go over that conversation right now.
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that...
Let's go into our questions. All right, I just went viral for saying I don't have platonic friends that are women.
Yes,
I saw that.
Is there a reason that we're saying platonic? Just out of curiosity.
What's wrong with platonic?
I was because I thought it was platonic. Am I wrong or right?
No. You say tomatoes or tomatoes?
Eclectic.
You say pecan
or
you say
eclectic.
pecan. Yeah, like we over here acting like we all graduated from college with doctors and masters.
We
did.
I'm just kidding. But I was asking if there was a joke that I'm missing out on.
No, it's platonic.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh
What
fuck!
would you
I
like
thought
me
he
to
was.
say?
I thought it was a joke.
Just say what you want to say.
Platonic.
Play with it.
So with your man, can he have platonic relationships with other women?
Absolutely.
Okay, how are you identifying platonic?
They have never played with that coochie.
I thought you was gonna say with that tonic.
You know, they don't do that. You know, but yeah, I don't, cause I have platonic male friends, and it's never been like I have a platonic friend that I met when I was 15, my best friend, and
He's straight.
He's straight, and he's now my brother-in-law. Never hit on me, always protected me, never was like that. Him and my sister have been together for years. I have a lot of.
That's a different dynamic.
It's not. He was my brother before he even knew my sister.
Yeah, that's a different dynamic.
It's not though, because I knew him like years before him and my sister got together.
Okay, platonic to me is, first off, a working relationship. If I work alongside, as you've seen beautiful women,
Very
here,
beautiful women, black women, might I add.
correct, that I work alongside with, that's not platonic. That's a working relationship.
Okay.
So when I say platonic, we have no business to be had together. It's just, yo, I seen you at the gym. Yo, what's up? You good? You straight? I'm just checking in on you. Like that, I don't have those.
Oh, yeah, I have those.
Yeah. Like, but to me, can I be honest?
Please.
When men say that they can't have platonic relationships with women, that makes me feel like you don't look at women as human beings.
Oh, why would you say that?
Jesus.
My producer is a woman.
Because
But you just said that's a business relationship.
Because you said that's a business relationship, because they are working for you. They're showing up for you because they're getting paid. No shade. But I say this to say, if you can't have a normal, hey, what's up, Ken? How you been? Just checking on you. You good? Because you don't look at them like human beings that are not sexual.
No, you're trying to shift the narrative.
Yeah. Leave it to an emotional and irrational woman to try to shift the narrative or to escalate a simple boundary that a man has created because he's created it based off of his lack of eggplant discipline. A platonic relationship is a relationship that is anything but sexual. So you can have a loving platonic relationship with someone else from the opposite sex as long as it doesn't involve any sexual contact.
Mike.
Heterosexual men have platonic relationships with other heterosexual men. Hey, I love you, bro. Keep your head up. Keep doing well, man. Man, I love to see you win.
I hope that fixed it.
Platonic
If it didn't, I'll fix it again.
What Cam is saying is if that was a chick that was saying that, he'd have a hard time, for lack of a better term, not getting hard and stab relentlessly, which will probably then produce yet another child. But instead, this woman tries to make him out to be an evil person. It's funny how these man haters tend to do that. Let's go.
That makes me out to be a person that doesn't know what I'm trying to refrain from. Right? I don't want to have any loose ends. I don't want to put myself in a position that I know myself. It has nothing to do with me not looking at them as not being human beings or you not being human beings. But if we don't have nothing, and this is coming from a person, I don't have any male friends. So let's just throw that out there too. If we're not making money together, bro, if we're not doing anything that better ourselves, there's not a person that could be like, yo, like Cam's my former teammates. Yeah, but we were former teammates. It's not a person that I'm checking for like, hey, bro, what you about to get into? Hey, let's go. That's not who Cam is. It's either I'm working or I'm home. That's my life. So platonic female relationships, I don't have. Platonic male relationships, I don't have. I just don't.
Okay, well,
So with
that's
women-
understandable if you're saying you don't have friends, period. It doesn't have to be a gender thing, but when it came with the clip I saw,
For sure.
it came off like, oh, I don't have female friends because I, like, you can't
But does it-
control
but does it-
yourself.
It was giving lack of control. Like that, so I would rather just
That
not
little-
have
you-
women
Yeah.
friends because I know I might cross that line of
Sure.
friendship.
Well, even if it was though, is that a problem?
Is it? Yeah.
because
It's
just
no.
because,
Why?
because
It's so
also too,
horny.
just
Yes, it's a
well,
problem.
also just
Okay.
because too, just because you want to cross that line, that don't necessarily mean she do.
That's
So
why-
y'all can still be friends.
That's cool, but listen,
Or now is it a rejection thing?
it's not. No, it's not a rejection thing. It's a understanding. What happened to understanding? Like, yo, if a person is fighting an addiction,
Okay.
and you know, hey, you're going through these AA meetings or you're going through the steps to become a better version of yourself. Why would you position your everyday walk of life passing what you're trying to get over?
Yeah.
So you said-
why you gonna rock a crackhead through a crack house, right? Like that when they trying to get over crack, right? That's not a good thing. We've gone over in multiple podcasts, specifically the one that I can think of is with Mr. Jason Wilson, and we talked about his inability to self-regulate, to self-control, right? And he referenced it as being, well, you've never been in my shoes, Jason Wilson, right? To say you've not been a 6'6" athlete, so you don't get all of the looks is what I do. And we all acknowledge that it is a cop-out, but it seems like he's making a forward-thinking decision to stay away from those types of relationships to lower the risks within his life. The only type of women that will not understand the logic of
Which is the
that
right
are
thing to
those
do.
that are situated within a negative light of men, right? They don't really like men, and they can only accumulate their movements or their actions to being an evil or a negative focus. The man's already in a relationship, well documented his lack of self-control. Any being that can rub two sticks together can figure this equation out. I don't understand why this is so damn difficult.
I mean, you so addicted to them yams that you can't have a friend?
It has nothing to do with yams or friends.
But
It's
that's
had
the point
everything
you
to
were
do with
making.
I know me.
So you don't have control. You lack self-control.
However you want to. What about
He's not disagreeing.
saying, hey, I respect you for knowing yourself
Right.
enough to not cross that line in any type of relationship.
But why can't you not cross it? Like,
I'm cordial.
okay.
Like you. This is.
But that's why I said you don't look at attractive women beyond being something that you can on.
I just don't cross.
This
that
is
line.
so crazy.
I'm
Yo.
cordial. It's not that I don't make eye contact. It's not that I
Right.
don't communicate. It's not that I don't try to be of service to them in any capacity. It's just a line that I'm not just willing to. I say this just, and this goes back to me being honest. I rarely give my number out. I talk to a lot of people on Instagram,
Okay.
right?
And they can decipher them letters.
Yeah, they do.
I think that everybody has a thing that they can't control themselves around other people doing. I think that just a lot of them are harmless. Like for me, I can't stop myself from, thinking about other things when people are talking. Like I just can't do it. So I can think about two things right now, and one of them can be what you're saying, but one of them's got to be something else. Otherwise, I feel bitter, and I read way too much into stuff, and a bunch of bad things that have never served good things in my life. And I think other people have similar things. Like when other people hear things, they have an inability to empathize, and they just can't control that about their interactions with other people. So they do the right thing, which is to draw boundaries around it and be like, okay, if what he said about women made me feel a certain way, I know I'm going to make it back, I'm going to relate it back to my own life experiences, and I know I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have that bias, and I just can't. But you can correct for it post interacting with those people. I think horniness is that for some men, where like they just can't be around women without their mind going to like a sexual place. And I think it's been like kind of documented. Like over time, there's been lots of like cartoons and stuff like that, where like guys just think about horny things all the time. There's been like memes about it, where all guys think about is beating their meat. But I think everybody has these things. It depends on the thing, and like you don't know it, because like over time you've built up mechanisms to kind of like work around it, and it would probably take you explaining things to someone else for them to be like, yo, if you feel that way or think that thing or do that thing every time you're around other people, yeah, you probably can't control that. Like that's probably hardwired now. It's not software anymore. That's hardware.
Ooh.
And it's one of those things like I protect my peace.
All right.
As an individual that knows that, and for somebody that may hear this and say, "Oh, I knew he was," that's cool. That don't move me.
Okay.
What moved me is a person that realizes like, "Yo, he been communicating with me on Instagram for real." Like, dang, like yeah, because my peace is more important than anything else to me, because when I have to show up for individuals, whether I'm working alongside them, whether I'm trying to be there as a family member, or just making a solid business decision, I want to have pristine focus on that. And I don't want no distractions. So if I'm at that particular point where I'm saying to myself, hey, I don't want nothing to sway me away from that. So male or female, we ain't platonically.
Anything.
No.
Okay. I can understand it. Like I said, if it's from humans, you don't with humans, people. That's what I'm saying. But in the clip, it seemed like it was women only. But now that you put it that way,
it did.
I understand.
Don't get no.
There's something under that hat.
But what was your question? Because you was
To me, it's odd to say that you prioritize your peace. Meanwhile, you have a podcast where you let people come in to judge you. And this is actually one of the many reasons why I don't do that podcast shit. I like my commentary shit right over here. Right, I can control myself, my schedule, my work around me. But nevertheless, it's almost like the young man can't win. He's getting judged for cheating on women, and then he's also getting judged for not wanting to have those same women as as friends. You can't win. And I guess to a degree that's part of the job. He signed up for it, right, to have his life judged because he has his relationships out there. But then also what's interesting is that they will judge him, right, and negatively position him based off of his interactions with women. Meanwhile, women like this never talk to women that follow in or listen to them about practicing closing their goddamn legs. It's just only up to the man to be judged on his degree of discipline. Meanwhile, women grant access to the box. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
At some point, the pathway becomes so ingrained, it's hard for it to be a choice instead of an auto response. Also, Walmart got the racist stuff out.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
I missed the. Did I miss a Walmart thing? They kick out their DEI department. Is it judgment or challenge? Good to challenge your views. No, I had to go to the store. Oh, you had to go to the store. Irish stuff. I see. The real bane of our existence. The real racism in the world.
I really want to just close off on the point about the world that men find themselves in before we move to the world that women find themselves in, and then try and tackle some of those problems. So they're lost in terms of understanding what masculinity is. We know that they're finding it harder to find dates. They're finding it harder to have sort of sexual relationships. Is there anything else that I need to understand about the man in the current social climate?
Well, I think the problem for the vast majority of men, especially young men, is their invisibility. Most men are wallpaper, and the world does not treat
wallpaper.
men very well when they want nothing from them. I talk about that in the very first pages of the book, that to understand why some people are rich in relationship opportunities, whether they're romantic, professional, friendship, etc., and other people are not. It's not correct to say that it's the good people who have relationship opportunities or the virtuous people. It's the people that other people want things from that have relationship opportunities. If you have more of what other people want more, you are going to have relationship opportunities throughout your lifespan. And that's very difficult, because imagine being an 18-year-old man who have no money and you've never had money. You may not have a job. You may never have had a job. So you have
imagine
no
you
skills.
had an 8-inch
You're
penis.
kind of invisible to women because you don't have yet anything that women might find conducive for a long-term relationship. If you're cute, they might hook up with you. But if you're not even that, I mean, why waste their opportunity? Why waste their time when there are other more attractive options available? And you're also kind of useless to most men because you don't yet have the skills and the experience to be a good team player. Like, I wouldn't want you on my squad if you've never been out in the field. You're going to be a liability. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to carry your ass off the field. So you can't be here either. And that creates obviously the catch-22, which is, well, where am I going to get the experience if no one gives me a shot? It's actually very difficult to be a young man. You don't have what either women or more experienced men want or need, and you're generally very disposable. And unfortunately, we've seen that. I mean, young men have a very high mortality rate in all kinds of ways. They were shipped off to wars. You talked about the suicide epidemic among older men. Well, it's also very high among adolescent boys as well. It's hard to be a young man.
I remember one of my guests telling me that about a study where they analyzed the suicide letters of men, and they looked at the words used versus the words used in female suicide letters, and the most sort of frequent sentiment amongst those letters was about feeling worthless, feeling like you weren't needed. And the guest on the podcast concluded that really what we needed to find a way is to send a message to men that you're needed. And it's a strange thing to say, but it correlates perfectly to what you were saying.
The message sounds good, but it would be better to actually have opportunities to be needed than to be told that you are needed and that you are valued and that you are cared for. That's a nice emotional sentiment that doesn't really keep the demons away at night. People need to feel connected to other people. They need to feel like they have a place in the world. And it can take quite some time to discover that. One of the traps that I fell into when I was a young man is I thought that I could figure that out by just sort of like noodling it out alone in my room. Like I was trying to figure out what I wanted my life to be about, what the purpose of my life was going to be before I even left the house. And I wasted a lot of time in fruitless rumination that way. It's much better to discover your purpose in life by moving through the world and examining your choices in retrospect. It's like you only really get to discover who you are by examining and understanding your revealed preferences based on your behavior as you move through the world. It's very easy to think of yourself in all kinds of ways when you're untested, when you're untried, when you're in the morally ambiguous situations in which human beings find themselves as they navigate reality.
Are you saying that the evidence you're looking for, or the answers you're looking for, come from
taking action? Absolutely. They don't come from thinking it out. They often don't come from therapy. And that might sound weird coming from a therapist, but I do think that we live in a very overly therapized culture with the understanding that therapy is somewhat of a panacea in that it should be able to cure all that ails you. And I don't think that that's true. Therapy is very good for certain problems, and it's useless for others.
What about women? What are the challenges that a woman faces in the modern world because of all these sort of macro changes that have taken place?
Well, the main problem that I see women encountering, at least in my consultative practice, is they have trouble finding the men that they want to have long-term relationships with. Almost every consultation I've done with a woman has been around, how do I get a man to marry me? And that's also kind of strange, because I would think 80, 100 years ago, that was something that that girl was being prepared for since she was a very young person, by her mother and her grandmother and her aunts and her female relatives with whom she probably lived in close consultation. And she never would have gotten to the age of 30 where this would be an open question still.
And who are you? What's your sort of, if I looked at your CV, you know, you talked about your consultative practice. What is the experiences you've had and the education you've had that have brought you to this point where you've written this book about relationships and those dynamics? What is your sort of professional, personal experience?
Well, professionally, I'm a psychologist. I'm licensed in the state of California, so I went to grad school and got a doctorate in psychology. I had all kinds of training experiences while I was moving through that. I worked at a chemical dependency clinic for 2 years. I worked with cancer patients and their caregivers in a health psychology setting for a couple years. I worked with significant dysfunction in a community mental health center in San Francisco for a while. I worked in outpatient with severe personality disorders. So that was all part of my training. And then when I started my private practice, I began to focus on men's mental health. And for a long time when I was a therapist, I worked exclusively with men. That's changed a little bit now that I have a kind of a larger platform on which to reach people. But that's sort of been my professional experience.
So in your private practice, when people come to you, what are men most frequently coming to you with in terms of the problem they come with versus what women come to you with a problem with?
Well, in general, it's either money or women for men.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this is nothing new. Like Sigmund Freud said a long time ago that the purpose of psychoanalysis was to teach people how to work and how to love. That's it. If you can learn how to work and love, you can be a fairly functional human being in society and have a satisfying life. And he also said that the goal of therapy was not to cure suffering per se, which might be inseparable from the human experience, but to free human beings from neurotic, unnecessary suffering so that they are better equipped to meet the necessary suffering and pain of being alive. So he had, I think, a more attenuated vision for what therapy could do. So it's either money, work, or women, love. And what I found is that it's either one or the other. I often did consultations with guys who were super successful professionally. They were making millions, but they were in failed marriage after failed marriage, or they couldn't, for the life of them, get laid, even if they were having parties with models on their super yachts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. By the same token, there are fewer of them because they couldn't afford my out-of-pocket rate, but it's like there were some men who were just absolutely cleaning up. Like I've done some consultations, I had some patients, young men who were just like plowing through San Francisco. I mean, they had sexual success in a way that most men would just fantasize about. But they had a really hard time getting their money straight, their career. They were super stressed out. They had anxiety disorders, things like that, which is actually fairly ironic because what I found is if it works in one domain, it generally works in the other.
Interesting. So if I get my work right, then I'll get my love right.
If it works in business, it often works with women.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Well, think about it this way. Men want sex and they want relationships from women. Women don't go around giving those things out to men just because they want them. Okay? So what's the analogous problem in the professional arena, which is I want money. Let's say you're a salesman. I want money. I have this product or I have this service. I want people to hire me. I want people to buy it. Well, people aren't just going around with their wallets out saying, who's going to take my money? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to get what you want from the people that you want it from. And a lot of the strategies that work in business to do that will work in the sexual marketplace as well.
Interesting. That's very, very true. Because I think I told you before we started recording, when I was, 18, there was this pickup artistry book sent to my house that I think my older brother had ordered, but he ordered it to the wrong address. because he'd moved out to university. So he said, just keep it.
Lucky accident for you.
Yeah. And I sat there and I read it cover to cover without moving. And actually, much of the principles I learned about pickup artistry, about attraction, about being a high value male, are actually things that I took into business when it comes to negotiation, sales, persuasion, and all those things. So I do see that translation.
Well, another thing is that often when I say that, because people have all kinds of associations with pickup, they think it's kind of sleazy.
Yeah.
And it's especially for guys who couldn't get laid otherwise, and so they have to use manipulative tactics to get what they want. It's like, okay, well, yeah, welcome to advertising, right?
Yeah.
So that's one side of it. They think that those strategies just work to get laid or to have casual sexual relationships. No, they often also work in long-term relationships, not only because generally the path